Leo, you made it! I was starting to think you forgot about me today.
Sorry. I got here as fast as I could. I was a little distracted.
Distracted? By what? You look like you're still somewhere else right now.
The match last night. My team had a perfect chance to win. The striker was right in front of the goal, completely open, and I don't even have the English word for what he did. He kicked it and it hit the metal bar on top, and we lost.
The crossbar? He hit the crossbar?
Yes, the crossbar, that's the word. He hit the crossbar from like 2 meters away. I was watching with my English-speaking friend, and I just went quiet. I couldn't describe what was happening. My English brain completely shut down.
Oh, Leo. So you were suffering in silence the whole match?
The whole match. Every time something happened, I knew what I wanted to say in Spanish, but in English, nothing. I felt invisible.
Well, that ends today, because this is exactly what we're covering. All the English you need to talk about soccer and sports with confidence. Goals, tactics, players, reactions, everything.
Yes, I want to be able to scream, "What a goal!" with perfect English energy and actually know what I'm saying.
You will. But let's start from the beginning. The vocabulary you need to understand and describe any soccer match. Okay, Leo. Let's build your soccer vocabulary from the ground up. We're going to cover the key words and phrases you'll hear in every single match commentary and conversation about football. Ready?
Ready. Let's score some vocabulary goals.
Love the energy. Okay, first, the basics of the field. When you watch a match, you need to know the key positions and areas. Let's start with the players on the field. Who do you know?
Well, I know the goalkeeper, the person who tries to stop the ball from going in.
Perfect. Goalkeeper. And we often shorten it to just keeper or goalie. The goalkeeper is the only player who can touch the ball with their hands. What else?
The defenders, the players who protect the goal.
Exactly. Defenders. And the area they protect is called the penalty box, or simply the box. Inside the box, there's a smaller area called the goal area, or the 6-yard box. And at the top of the penalty box, there's an arc called the penalty arc, or the D.
Wow, there are so many parts to this field. Keeper, defenders, box, 6-yard box, the D.
You're doing great. Now, moving forward on the field, you have the midfielders. These are the players in the middle who connect defense and attack. They pass, they create, they control the rhythm of the game.
So they're like the brain of the team?
That's a brilliant way to put it. Yes, the midfielders are the brain. They distribute the ball, they control possession, and they create chances for the attackers. Speaking of attackers,
The strikers, the forwards, the people who score goals.
yes, strikers, forwards, or wingers. Strikers play in the center, directly in front of the goal. Wingers play on the sides of the field, near the touch lines. And the touch lines, by the way, are the long boundary lines on the sides of the field.
And the goal lines are at each end, where the goals are?
Exactly. Now let's talk about the actions. What happens during a match? Describe a goal to me.
Okay, so someone gets the ball, they run, they pass, or they dribble. They go around players, and then they shoot, and the ball goes into the net. Goal!
Beautiful description. Let's add some key vocabulary. When a player goes around another player with the ball, that's called dribbling, the act of moving the ball past defenders. When they pass the ball forward to a teammate, that's called an assist. The assist is the last pass before the goal.
So if I pass to Leo and Leo scores, wait, I am Leo. If Ava passes to Leo and Leo scores, Ava gets the assist?
Not quite, but yes, that's how it works. The person who makes the final pass gets credit for the assist. Now, what about when the ball goes out? when it goes over the goal line but doesn't go in?
It's a goal kick. No, a corner kick. When the other team touches it last before it goes out at the goal line?
Correct. If the attacking team touches it last, it's a goal kick. If the defending team touches it last, it's a corner kick. Corner kicks are taken from the corner of the field. And what about the sides? When the ball goes over the touchline?
That's a throw-in. The player throws the ball back in from the side.
Perfect. And what about fouls? When a player breaks the rules?
The referee gives a foul, and if it's bad, they get a yellow card. And if they get a second yellow, they're out. Red card. They have to leave the game.
Exactly right. Yellow card is a warning. Red card means you're sent off. Now, let's talk about one of the most exciting moments in soccer, the penalty kick. Do you know when a penalty is awarded?
Yes. When someone fouls inside the box, the penalty box. Then the player goes to the penalty spot and shoots at the goalkeeper, one-on-one.
Spot on. And the area where the player stands is called the penalty spot, or the penalty mark. It's 12 yards from the goal line. Now, Leo, let's put some of these words together. I want you to describe a match scenario using at least 3 of the words we've covered.
Okay, so the winger receives the ball on the left side. He dribbles past 2 defenders. He passes into the box to the striker. The striker shoots, but the goalkeeper makes a save.
Fantastic. You used winger, dribbles, defenders, box, striker, and goalkeeper. That's a full match moment described in English. Now let's add some of the expressions you'll hear in real conversations. Now that you have the vocabulary, let's talk about how people actually speak about soccer in English. Because there's a difference between knowing the words and knowing how to use them in conversation.
Yes, I always feel like I sound like a robot when I try to talk about football, like I'm reading from a textbook.
That's because textbooks teach you formal language, but real fans speak with passion and energy. Let me give you some natural phrases. First, let's talk about reactions to a goal.
Please, I need these.
Okay, when someone scores, you might hear, "What a goal!" That's the most common one. But you'll also hear things like absolute screamer. That means a really powerful, amazing shot from far away. Or what a finish, when the player puts the ball in the net beautifully.
Absolute screamer. I love that. That sounds so much more exciting than just saying good goal.
Exactly. And when a goal is missed, you'll hear what a miss, or unbelievable, or how do you miss that? When a shot hits the crossbar or the post, people say off the woodwork, meaning it hit the metal frame of the goal.
Off the woodwork. That's so much better than it hit the metal thing.
Right? Now, let's talk about describing a match. When a game is really exciting, with lots of goals and action, people say, "What a match," or "an absolute thriller." A thriller is a game that keeps you on the edge of your seat.
Like when my team was down 2-0 and came back to win 3-2, that was a thriller.
Yes, 2-0 means 2 goals to 0. By the way, in English, when we say the score, we use nil for 0 in British English or 0 in American. So you can say 2-0 or 2-0. When the score is tied, it's 1-1 or it's a draw.
And came back to win 3-2. That was a thriller. 1-1, got it. What about when someone plays really badly?
Oh, there are plenty of expressions for that too. He was awful today is straightforward. But you might also hear, he was off his game, meaning he didn't play to his usual standard, or he had a nightmare. That's when someone has a really terrible performance, especially the goalkeeper who lets in a bad goal.
He had a nightmare. That's dramatic. I like it.
And for really great individual performances, you'll hear, he was world-class today, or he was unstoppable, or player of the match, no question. These are the phrases real fans use.
So let me try a full conversation. Hey, did you watch the match last night? What an absolute thriller. 3-2, last-minute winner. The striker was unstoppable, absolute screamer for the first goal. but the goalkeeper had a nightmare for the second one.
Leo, that sounds like you've been watching English football your whole life. That was completely natural.
Really? I sounded natural?
You did. That's because you used the right vocabulary in the right context. Now let's add some more phrases for different situations. What if you want to talk about tactics and strategy?
Tactics, like formations?
Yes, formations. The most common ones you'll hear are 4-4-2, 4-3-3, and 3-5-2. These numbers describe how many defenders, midfielders, and forwards a team uses.
So 4-4-2 means 4 defenders, 4 midfielders, and 2 forwards?
Exactly. And teams might play a high press. That means they put pressure on the other team high up the field, trying to win the ball back quickly. Or they might park the bus, which means they defend very deep with all their players behind the ball.
Park the bus. That's such a funny image. Like they drove a bus in front of their goal.
It's a great visual, isn't it? It was actually coined by a famous manager, Jose Mourinho, and now it's used in every football conversation around the world. Another one you'll hear a lot is counterattack, when a team defends deep and then quickly attacks when they win the ball back.
So if my team parks the bus and then gets a counterattack, we defend with everyone. Then boom, fast attack when we get the ball.
Defends deep and then quickly attacks when they win the ball back. Exactly. And when a counterattack results in a goal, commentators will scream, "What a counter!" or "Killer counterattack." Let me give you a few more useful phrases for everyday football chat.
Hit me with them.
Give you a few more useful phrases for everyday football chat. The match was back and forth. That means both teams were attacking and the lead kept changing. It was end to end, similar meaning, lots of action at both ends of the field. They dominated possession. That means one team had the ball most of the time. They didn't create many chances, meaning the team didn't have many opportunities to score.
So if my team dominated possession but didn't score, they didn't convert their chances?
Acquired that same number and didn't convert their chances. Excellent. Yes, convert means to turn a chance into a goal. You're picking this up fast. Now let's put everything together. I'm going to narrate a match scenario, and you respond as if you're watching it with me. Try to use the phrases and vocabulary we've learned.
Okay, I'm ready. Let's do this.
We're in the final minute of the match. The score is 1-1. The winger receives the ball on the right side. He cuts inside, past the first defender. He's approaching the penalty box.
He sees the striker making a run.
Yes, the striker is in position. The winger plays a through ball into the box.
The striker controls it beautifully. He's one-on-one with the goalkeeper.
He shoots.
Goal! What a goal! Absolute screamer! The goalkeeper didn't even see it coming.
Amazing commentary, Leo. You were right there with me. Now let's add some post-match discussion. Imagine we're talking about this game after it's over.
Okay, so it was an absolute thriller, wasn't it? End to end for the whole match. Both teams were attacking.
Great start. Continue.
The winger was world-class today. His assist for the winning goal was perfect. And the striker's finish? What a finish! He was unstoppable in the second half.
Wonderful. Now let's talk about the losing team.
Well, the goalkeeper had a nightmare on that last goal. He was out of position. But honestly, they dominated possession for most of the match. They just didn't convert their chances.
That was brilliant. You used dominated possession, didn't convert their chances, world class, and assist, all in a natural conversation. This is exactly how real fans talk about football.
I can actually do this. I can talk about sports in English.
You absolutely can. And now let's cover a few more scenarios. What if someone asks you about your favorite team or player?
Okay, they ask, who's your favorite team?
Yes. How would you respond?
I'd say, my favorite team is Barcelona. I've been supporting them since I was a kid. Or I've been a fan since I was little.
Perfect. I've been a fan since I was a kid is very natural. And what if they ask about a player?
My favorite player he's incredible. He's so skillful. When he gets the ball, anything can happen. He's a game changer.
A game changer. Beautiful phrase. It means a player who can change the outcome of a match on their own. What else might someone ask you about football?
They might ask if I watch the Premier League or La Liga, or if I follow the Champions League.
Good. And your response?
I'd say, yes, I watch every weekend. I never miss a match, or I try to watch as many as I can. Or even, I'm a bit of a football fanatic.
A football fanatic. That's a great one. It means you're crazy about football in the best way. Now, one more thing. What about when you go to watch a live match? What words do you need?
Well, the stadium, the seats, the stands?
Yes, the stands are where the fans sit. You'll hear the home fans and the away fans. The home fans support the local team. The away fans travel from another city to support their team. And when a goal is scored, the fans...
They go wild. They celebrate. They sing.
And there are specific words for the celebrations too. The crowd erupted means everyone started cheering at once. The stadium was rocking means the whole stadium was shaking from the fans jumping and cheering.
I can picture that. The stadium was rocking. That's so much better than everyone was happy.
It is. And one last set of phrases. What do you say when your team loses?
We were robbed when the referee made a bad call. Or that was unlucky. Or we'll get them next time. Or at least we played well.
Those are all perfect. We were robbed is a classic football fan expression. It means you feel you deserved to win but didn't. And we'll get them next time shows sportsmanship and optimism. All right, Leo, let's test what you've learned. Quick quiz time. I'll give you a situation and you tell me the right English expression.
Let's go. Bring it on.
Question 1. A player shoots from 30 yards out, and the ball flies into the top corner of the net. The goalkeeper can't reach it. What do fans say?
Absolute screamer. Or what a goal.
Correct. Question 2. Your team is losing 2-0 with 10 minutes left. They suddenly score 3 goals to win. What kind of match was that?
A thriller, an end-to-end match, or maybe a comeback.
Exactly. What a comeback is perfect too. Question 3. The goalkeeper lets in a really bad, easy goal. How would you describe his performance?
He had a nightmare, or he was awful today.
Right on. Question 4. One team had the ball for 70% of the match but didn't score. What do you say about them?
They dominated possession but didn't convert their chances.
Perfect. Question 5. A player gets a yellow card and then another one 2 minutes later. What happens?
Red card. He's sent off. He's out of the game.
Exactly. And one final question. Your friend asks why you love soccer. You want to say it because any team can beat any other team, and you never know what will happen. How do you say that in English?
Because it's unpredictable. Anything can happen. That's the beauty of football.
Leo, that was beautiful. You said unpredictable, and that's the beauty of football. Those are phrases that real football fans use every day. You're not just learning vocabulary anymore. You're learning to think and express yourself in English through the sport you love. So, Leo, how do you feel about talking about soccer in English now?
Completely different. Before this video, I was sitting in silence every time my friends talked about a match. Now I have the words, the phrases, the energy. I feel like I can actually join the conversation.
That's the goal. Remember, learning English doesn't have to be boring or formal. You can learn through the things you love, like football. When you're passionate about a topic, the language comes more naturally because you actually want to use it.
It's true. I was paying way more attention in this video than I ever paid attention in grammar class, because this is real. This is what people actually say.
Exactly. And here's your homework this week. Watch a soccer match in English. The commentary, the interviews, everything. Try to pick out 5 new phrases that you heard the commentators or fans use. Write them down and try to use them the next time you talk about football.
And we want to hear from you too. Our amazing viewers, leave a comment below and tell us, what's your favorite football team and what's one new phrase you learned from this video? We'll be reading your comments and cheering you on.
And if you want more real English conversation practice like this, for everyday topics, not just football, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe to Learn English with Ava and Leo. We post new videos every week with practical, fun English lessons.
Because here, learning isn't a chore.
It's a conversation.
I'm Leo.
And I'm Ava. See you next time, ready to speak English with confidence.